What's up, my friends and Kali Warriors? Paul Ingram here. Today we are going to be going over 10 of the elbow strikes from Kali, or Panantukan, Suntukan, Pangamut. A lot of different terminologies for the empty hand portions of Filipino martial arts, depending on what style or system that you're coming from. Now, these are the 10 main elbow strikes. There are a few other elbow manipulation type of strikes, but this will cover the main gist of these techniques. I love elbows because they are extremely devastating, extremely effective, and they're kind of like a high bang for your buck empty hand technique. And the way I like to kind of describe the effects of an elbow strike is one well-placed elbow with good mechanics is kind of like you just bought 10 punches, right? So one good elbow can equal, what it takes 10 punches to do to the opponent. So when it comes to self-defense, elbows are fantastic empty hand striking techniques. Let's get into these 10 basic elbows. So basically what we're looking at today is the different angles that we can come in on from our different elbow strikes. So we have our basic 3 angles, which is our downward diagonal angle, like angle 1 if we're striking with the weapons. We come across on the horizontals, and then we also have the upward diagonal strikes as well. And of course, we want to train this on both sides of the body. I like working some individual reps, maybe just put the timer on for 30, 60 seconds, and just for 30 to 60 seconds, just work your downward diagonal elbows right and left. Then our second elbow strike is our horizontal elbows, coming across on the horizontal line. And number 3 on our elbow strikes is our upward diagonal elbows, kind of like our angle 3 when we're using the weaponry. Now in Filipino martial arts, one of the things you're going to see a lot is we like to kind of make sure we have one hand on the head of our opponent while we are applying our elbow strike techniques. And the reason for that is, yes, we can strike without the hand on the head, and sometimes you're gonna need to do that, but the idea is we wanna keep the opponent in short range, at close quarters, while we hit them with the elbows. We don't want to strike our opponent and then necessarily they're gonna fall back. I mean, that could be good for a self-defense situation. Maybe, a well-placed one good elbow is all it's gonna take. Drive that person back, maybe it knocks them out, maybe it doesn't, they stumble back on their feet, and that could give you enough time to get out of there. However, if you needed to use multiple strikes to really kind of terminate this fight, this situation at hand, then having one hand on the head is very, very proficient in delivering multiple strikes to your opponent. So if you have a bob, a heavy bag, anything that you can strike, definitely something that you want to play around with. Make sure you work some without the holding of the head, and then make sure you work some with a hand on the head. Then we move into the vertical line. We have our vertical uppercut elbows, just like this, coming up. Again, both arms, we want to make sure we're working right hand and the left hand. And then we have the downward vertical, kind of like the downward diagonal, but we're gonna really come over the top and smash down on the vertical lines. For our 6th elbow striking technique, we're gonna come up over the top, and this is called our drop elbow. We're gonna drop the elbow all the way down. Sometimes it's gonna go right on top of the head. Maybe your opponent is kind of bent over or whatever. Maybe they're squatted down, and then you're gonna drop that elbow right directly down on that vertical line. Right here, or on the other side. Our 7th elbow striking technique is the spear elbow, and this is where we're thrusting our elbow in as if we were stabbing our opponent right in the face with a spear. We're gonna use our elbow instead. Now, all of these strikes that I'm taking to Bob right now are going right into his head. However, all of these elbow striking techniques, they can go to the head, obviously. they can even come down into the body as well. You know, taking these spear elbows right to the sternum, right to the solar plexus, it's a heavy, heavy shot. It causes a lot of pain. You know, maybe even take the wind out of your opponent. And sometimes if they're striking and throwing punches, you know, we can come in and use that spearing elbow, jam up the shoulder, a lot of nerves and things. It's very, very painful when you take these elbows. The spear elbows don't look like much because it's like you're just kind of driving it in. But as they're applying force and you're applying force and you're coming in with this, it really digs in, and essentially what you're doing is stabbing somebody with blunt force trauma. So all of these elbow striking techniques so far, they can go to the head, right? They can come into the body, and they can even be applied as destructions to the limbs, which I'll show in another video when I've got Tom or a training partner that I can have throw punches and kicks at me. So if you want to see that video, hit the thumbs up on this one and let me know down in the comments, and I'll make sure to schedule some time with Tom or Chris or one of my students, and we'll go ahead and make that video for you and show you how to use elbows as destructions against punches and kicks. Our last 3 elbow striking techniques are the reverse elbows. So for some reason, maybe somebody's behind you or coming up behind you, right, we have our high horizontal reverse elbows on both sides. Okay. We have our low vertical elbows, reverse elbows, be going to the body. You can hit the horizontal ones to the body as well. Very painful, especially as you hit the sternum or the floating ribs. But you can also work the verticals here. And then you have that reverse uppercut elbow that comes all the way up. All the way up. This one can be a real surprise to an opponent. You know, maybe they've kind of got you a little bit in like a bear hug, maybe arms free, and you can still kind of work up and come back with one of those reverse elbow strikes. Very, very effective. You're putting a lot of torque from that torso, from the rotation of your hips, your shoulders, that's been all driven up from the ground. You're putting a lot of torque behind those reverse elbows, generating a lot of power. And they're very, very unexpected strikes. All right, there you have it, my friend. 10 of the most basic elbow strikes from Filipino martial arts from the empty hands of Pangamut or Panantukan. Again, make sure you're working them out. You can work them all out, kind of shadow box them in the air, which is always a really good idea. That way you're just really working on the mechanics of the body, getting the torso to rotate and all that. But it is important to make sure you're working some impact training as well. So if you have a heavy bag, a bob, anything that you can hit, then do that as well. Then maybe in the future what we'll do is we'll come back here when I have a training partner, and we'll start working some of these techniques with more of a focus mitt, focus pad type of thing, so you can do more of a call and response, really get those elbow strikes dialed in. And then we can also do some feeder drills. We'll have some punches and kicks coming our way, and then we can learn how to use these as destructions and how to safely train them with a partner, on a partner, so that way we can really get the most out of our colleague training. If you like elbow strikes as much as I do, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know down in the comments below which of these angles is your favorite, or have you ever experienced, been on the receiving end, maybe just in training, in like some full contact sparring, been on the receiving end of some of these elbows, and what is your fondest memory of that? Because for me, getting elbowed in the head, even with all the gear on, it freaking sucks. It really rocks you. If you are brand new to the Kali Center channel and or Filipino martial arts all in general, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit that bell to turn on post notifications so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Also, my friend, go check out my online school at kalicenter.com. I'm doing a special promotion right now at this time, 50% off. Advance your training in all 12 areas of Kali, and go check out everything that we offer inside of our online school. It's pretty sweet. We have our on-demand training, we have our monthly live stream classes, plus the playbacks. And if you have specific goals for your training that you want to accomplish, we also do include our one-on-one private coaching where we can do a tailored program for your specific needs and goals. Got the link down below over at kalicenter.com. Check it out, and maybe we'll see you inside of the online school. All right, I'm gonna get back to working my elbows on Bob, best training partner. I'll see you guys back here next time.